Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Batman Be Vlogged, the weekly vlog series where I review an episode of Batman Beyond after watching it for the very first time. Today we are looking at episode 35, April Moon, from a story by Stan Berkowitz and James Tucker, written by Stan Berkowitz, directed by Butch Lukic. As always, because I do these unscripted, I am putting a blanket spoiler warning in place in the chance I decide to talk about spoilers. So if you have not seen Batman Beyond or the episode we're talking about this week, this is your one chance to jump ship and go watch it and come back. April Moon is a fun episode. On a quality scale, I'm not, from bad to good, I'm not sure where I'd put it, but I will say at the least it's fun. And I'm also surprised that this far into Batman Beyond, it took us this long to get to this. We are doing a noir story, something that I'm sure is very at home in any iteration of Batman. And again, that I am just surprised took us so long to do in Batman Beyond. Although not completely, because again, Batman Beyond is much more action oriented, where other iterations of Batman was a hodgepodge of things. Sometimes there'd be action, sometimes there'd be mystery, thriller, etc., etc. Batman Beyond, in comparison, is very much cyberpunk and action. Not that that's a bad thing, it's different from its other iterations. So as I was saying, this is a noir story. Terry is facing a new gang who themselves collectively have no name, at least not one that's given in the episode, but they have augmented themselves with cybernetic implants. Only one is named in the episode, the rest are only listed in the end credits, so give me a second. So because their names were never given, I never memorized them. So we have Terrapin, Nux, Kneejack, and Bullwhip. Bullwhip being the only one actually named in the episode. After their first encounter, Terry and Bruce discover that their augmentations were most likely done by a surgeon named Dr. Corso. And, Terry eventually finds Dr. Corso and finds out what's going on. The Corso was forced to augment these people with these implants and these abilities because they're holding his wife, April, hostage. And I will say that, once you catch on that this is a noir story, because it gives it away pretty early on, especially the score. The score in this episode is really unique compared to the rest of the series because it is very sort of jazz heavy, very horn heavy, particularly saxophone. And, when the score started playing and it stood out, that is the first hint that gave it away that this is a noir story. And once you learn this is a noir story, there is a twist that is incredibly predictable the way it plays out. Like when we get to Dr. Corso's flashback where he's telling Batman about what happened and why he's helping these criminals, it is very obvious what the twist is going to be. At least it was to me. I figured it out. And I've been really good on the spoilers for the most part, but I may actually spoil it because I do want to talk about the ending. The fight scenes in this episode are really good. They're some of the best in recent memory. I haven't talked too much about the fight scenes just because, I don't have a lot to say. They're a part of the animation that has been really strong recently, but I feel like the fight scenes have been really brief, or at the very least, they kind of play out in the same beats over and over. So, just to sum up again, I never had really anything to say, but like the fight scenes here, they really stood out to me as being very different from what we've had so far, especially from recent memory. Like I said, there's a lot that I did from before my hiatus that I just don't remember at the moment. I should probably really rewatch those episodes up to the point where I took a break because of the writer's strike. But yeah, again, just fight scenes are good. Now, let's talk about the ending and kind of my disappointment. So, it turns out Dr. Corso wasn't entirely helpless to this gang. unbeknownst to them, and we learn through his discussion with Terry, once he either found or rescued his wife, he put a failsafe in this gang's implants that he was going to activate, and then it would disable them. It would incapacitate them. The phrase is a song called April Moon that he has for he and his wife. And Terry is able to deduce what it is in a fun, very quick little scene that shows Terry's intelligence. Like I've said in the past, Batman Beyond doesn't really focus on Batman as a detective, but those little moments we do get, I really enjoy, and this is one of them. It's not so much, Terry solving mysteries or putting clues together. It's him just recalling events and deducing what the failsafe password is. It's the song title April Moon. And that sort of leads us to the ending, which in the grand scheme of things is very anticlimactic. Full context, I actually looked up this episode because it ends on what appears to be a cliffhanger, so I wanted to see if there was a sequel or a follow-up just to see what happened. So it turns out the big twist that I was hinting towards is that April is a part of the gang. Or if not a part, she is helping them. Like Dr. Corso and Terry find their hideout and they see April and Bullwhip, the leader of this gang, being passionate. Dr. Corso has a mental breakdown, and then which leads to the climactic fight with Terry and the gang. Terry incapacitates Terrapin, Knee-Jerk, and Nux, but Bullwhip disappears, and April disappears. We don't see April again. Like, that's just it. She disappears, that's done. And then we see Bullwhip going back to Dr. Corso to get further augmentations because Bullwhip didn't realize Dr. Corso was there. And, what is it he says? I should have written it down. I didn't. That's my fault. Bullwhip tells Dr. Corso, go all out of me. And the episode fades to black on Dr. Corso lowering a drill to Bullwhip. Presumably implying at this point that as revenge for what he saw with his wife, Dr. Corso killed him. But just the fact that April, after this reveal, that April was complicit, and then she disappears, and, the episode ends on that cliffhanger, there is no follow-up. Like I said, I looked up the remaining episodes. I didn't go too big into spoilers. I just read plot summaries. But yeah, there is no follow-up to this episode, which is very disappointing. Well, maybe. I know Bruce Timm, or to better explain, I know the Timmverse did comic continuations of some of their stuff. Like, I know there's a Batman the Animated Series comic. I don't know if they did one from Batman Beyond, or if they did, this was followed up on, but it just... This is a pet peeve of mine, especially in TV shows that get canceled. I'm going on a bit of a tangent here. I hate unresolved cliffhangers. Like a cliffhanger that's obviously supposed to lead to a sequel or a follow-up that just never gets brought up on. Some other examples include the Doctor Who episode Sleep No More. Not a great episode. Some people often cite it as one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who. My big thing is that it ends on a cliffhanger that's not resolved and is never followed up on. And, just to be really clear on this, I do mean being unresolved. There's a difference between being unresolved, so like the ending of this episode again, or the ending of that Doctor Who episode Sleep No More, and there's a difference between being ambiguous, like the ending of Inception, as an example. So, yeah, I'm kind of just rambling now, so I'm going to end it there. April Moon, again, is just a fun episode. It's got some amazing fight scenes, or at the very least, amazing in recent memory. It's just a really fun noir story with a really frustrating ending because it never gets followed up on. But those are just my thoughts. Have you seen April Moon? What are yours? Start a conversation in the comments below. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell to get notifications when I upload, and share the video around. All of it helps my channel grow, and in the description box below, you'll find a link to my socials where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'm about to have a coughing fit, so I'll see you guys next time.